Hello everyone, my name is Andy, and today we're going to do a video game playthrough about DDLC, Doki Doki Literature Club, and I will do a mod based on the story. So basically, in the description, in the description, I have played it previously, and I have to cut it halfway through because I found out that my game is in full screen mode and I haven't took a single picture of it. So yeah, actually I'll play it again. So let's just open our game here. I think it's the download folder. Afterimage, yeah, right. This mod is called Doki Doki Afterimage, and in my opinion, that is by far I've played the best mod I have ever actually ever played of the DDLC. Of course, I've you know so yeah, without rambling around, you know what I'm talking about. Let's open the game. I will not set the game into full screen mode this time though. You wonder what that is? That is my thermometer. I'll keep my computer cool by that. Okay, have that notifier there. Can do a new game actually, because this is what I wanted, the full walkthrough of the game. Winds howling, with its last parade riding its horse throughout the carriage, my body abruptly leaning forward. I am surrounded by countless backpacks, suitcases, beanies, and shoes. Interrupting those glowing screens awkwardly, I step out of the subway door. Walking towards the exit, I take a look at the grim sky, imprisoned by cold thrills. I bury my face into my collar and walk up the necessary steps one by one in order to get up there. Vehicles rushing by with the moisture on my face, there are few passengers around, my eye mostly fixed on the shining leaves. Oh, also though, this mod is previously not finished, though I saw their update in the Reddit, and I also see that I think that's the official playthrough. The maker, I think that the maker had this commented the playthrough and said it's actually already done, but it still needs some refining works to go with. So anyway, continue the game. Why do you wear such thin clothes? What? I turned to the other side of the alley. Beneath that well-worn telegraph pole, something was looming, as if someone was there. However, there are no signs of walking nor wet footprints. I closed my eyes, then gently opened them, to notice nothing but my heart being tightly grabbed by something I can't quite describe. At least my fucking OBS is still running. Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. Are we thermothrottling? Not yet, though. Okay, that's good. I walked the path with a rather anxious pace, firmly holding my rain-avoiding tool. Umbrella? Pale courtyard rails just dragged my eyes there unceasingly. My increasing speed could barely fight back its strength. Memories flood in, every step spirited dialogue. Water flows into the sewer, wave by wave. I think that's somebody's house. I think it's Sayori's house. You know, my neighbor. You know what I'm talking about. It's clear for me than everyone if I stop by. Even only for a second, I'll slip. It was totally wrong not to follow the GPS. There must be a much shorter route. However, my body conscientiously walked subconsciously subconsciously walks on this path ever since I got out of the subway station. Well, obviously, you were here. Who am I going to blame though? This is where I used to live after all. Luckily, I've got somewhere else to visit. Right? Right? Finally, I started trampling past foreign buildings, past those LED lights boxes and plastic counters, then present my well-edited lines to those vaccinated face. Vaccinated? What? We take out our documents, exchange smiles, show off our teeth, and our tongues stir up the saliva, weaving polite words into the behavior. Okay. I picked up my wet umbrella by the door and stare at the outside streets from where I stand still. Suddenly some shadows approach my back. Dodging its engagement, I stagger to the corner. Turns out to be a couple of high school. Couple? That's two girls. Okay, couple. Well, sorry about that. Turns out to be couple of high school students walking outside, chatting and laughing. I noticed something. It's the color. Yeah, the color. Isn't it similar? Familiar with the uniform of the school that main character was in. You know, out of fate, I just tossed my eye there until the shades of red vanished behind me, expanding angle between us. My fluorescent phone screen turned to become a main role on the stage of the dim sky. I cope with my social apps nonchalantly using one hand. Eventually, I turn off the GPS, simply just walk back to where I came. Orange glitter draws my silhouette cautiously onto the window across the street. I dig forward, eyes on the ground. But a scene of warmth stopped me in the middle of the road, in front of the peaceful courtyard. And a familiar car parked on the side of the house, although it is still a few meters from where I stand. The heat under the hood is hard to ignore, as is the light behind the window. Gentle melody paints every inch of the room with its welcoming color. I could hardly recognize anything through the vague windows, but I'm sure that there are many people sitting around a big table. Cheers. Must be quite a meal. Among their cheerful laughter and clowns of coterie, two children are looming. You can cook, really. Maybe you should change the words with eat. Okay, dude. You don't believe? Don't beg me for a taste then. The relaxation from the shower head slips down my eyelids, lingering with my skin towards the last corner where light could ever reach. Highlights hop from one drop to another, blur everything around me into the soothing steam. My nerves seems to ease a little. Nothing better than a proper hot shower after a busy yet cold, wet day. Have you brought your pillow today? I draw myself up, open the door, banging on the fucking wall. My forehead banged against the chilly concrete wall. Seriously. Nerves resume on the cello. Okay, cello. Freezing air stabs into my bones with no mercy. When hard steel wires pierce through my eyelids to pull them up, an aged stoop appears in my sight. Hello? The old man saw me react a little, so he gave it another pat on my shoulder. I saw you standing here for a while now. Are you looking for someone? No, nothing much. Sorry, I'm just spacing out. A foul taste of vertigo strikes over me. Street lamps get so gloomy. Pavements start to curve, to fold, to intertwine, expelling my ugly figure out of this silent street. Don't say bad for you, dude. I sit in front of my desk, fiddling with my boring pen. My brain just won't stop replaying it all. Imagine it get tossed onto the desk and crashes into pieces before I could examine them correctly. I look up at the book. I look up at my bookshelf at the least appealing corner. It still lies there. Pulling it out thus begins to wake. I gently turned the pages over, along with the inferior lines. Then I picked up the creased paper, unfolded, and held it in my palms. I sighed to myself. With the air leaving my mouth, the once floated dust now started to become more visible under my table lamp. The most familiar handwriting in my life lies there faintly, unable to breathe even more. I try to fold it back, yet my body remains limp. Before long, I stand up and walk to the living room. It's probably midnight now, but I still want to take a walk. It is not like I will be able to know who or what awaits me in my dreams, or another night without any dreams. I managed to reach the doorknobs in darkness. What a day. I gently opened the door. Oh fuck. I'm scared. Okay, fuck. I'm very. My jump scare thing just can't really hold up that much. I'm caught off guard, staggered back against the doorframe, barely maintain my balance. Going to be fell off, I think. I catch my breath, then stand up to look at the doorway. What's happening? I swear I've heard something. Some cyan fog enters my door from the distant darkness outside, forming the tenderest figure in my memory at the last defense line of mine. She slowly steps out of the glim far beyond my reach, descend from the celestial, like a helpless star. I feel a salty taste filling my throat. The outlines start to take form. Then she waves her hand before my eyes. Seems like she made a mistake to measure the distance. Her hand runs through my face. The thin fog gets disturbed, and then reluctantly gathered together again. Okay, guys. I think a better decision is to close my camera. I think I'm doing things in front of the fucking camera, I'll be fucking done. When she finally released my eyesight, an undeniably familiar face reveals. Hey, I try my best to stay calm, but billions of strings are all intertwined inside my head as world begins to falling apart, leaving the Solomon hide behind. Overwhelming tides take down every fortress in the blink of an eye. My body trembles under the heavy air hammer, bashing and smashing. I take a glance at the neck. Behind her half-visible ceiling, there's nothing but a silent doorway, facing the freezing breeze of November. I try to remember more, but my efforts become useless behind my blurry eyes. What's wrong? Seeing me wordless, she seems to be a bit worried. I close my eyes, forcing them to rotate a little. Tears drip down to my shirt. I dare not to open them. I dare not to confirm. My feet sink down the quicksand. I give into their surging memory. Let them drag me down to the bottom. Only the cold air reminds me of the delicate presence. Hey! Hearing her call, I opened my eyes without any hesitation. The seeing figure still there. Far constantly fades at the edge of the outline. as if she were to disappear into the vast world any second with a blow of a storm. Luckily, there's no storm tonight, nor the vast world. Sayori? Hi, where are we right now? Her voice is very hoarse, but her tone remains heart-lifting, as if nothing had ever changed. Well, she hung up herself. She hung up herself. There's some pressure on the vocal line. Natural. Natural. I chose my words, edited them, considered them, considered them. I scrutinized my thousands of phrases into thousand lines of poems thousands of times, trying to find the most proper way to reply on her. Finally, I let out a long sigh. You really gave me a heart attack back there. I reach out to pat her on the shoulder, but my hand just goes through her body, leaving only the darkness around the door. It's always so interesting to see you get flustered. Um, I didn't know. I was just about to take a walk outside, and you suddenly... She let out a giggle, seemed still replaying my earlier reaction. Ha! Our eyes meet as her laughter begins to dim, even though we're standing at a close distance. My gaze seems to be carried 1,000 miles away, traveling to the end of time. Here, where even lights could not reach, I finally found my sky blue eyes. Although they are unable to escape the siege of Stypsium, I remember the original door color. I see limpid tears emerge from there, soaking her pillow, her Mr. Cow, her paper beneath the pen. How are we doing? She lowers her head, tears leaking through her finger unstoppably. Her shoulders begin to tremble. In the end, she can no longer hold it, collapses to me. I reach out to embrace her. There's nothing I can come up at this moment. I think a hug is the best thing I can do now. She goes through my body as it crashes to the ground. Endless sorrow kick in, drowning, slaughtering. Lightning tears my heart in half. I crouch down to lift it up, to hug her tightly. But no matter what I do, there's only the stone, cold earth to respond to me. Her crying is the only thing that echoes in my room. Her figure gets stirred to a mess thanks to my movement. The mist is becoming less and less visible. Panic strikes, sending a chill down my spine. I hastily close the front door and then try to rearrange the fog into her body, or rather her shape. I put my hands on the back to comfort her. I know physics doesn't quite work the way it usually does right now, that I'm just using my own strength to hold my hands in the air to match the pose of comforting. I hope this will somehow make her feel better, even though I don't believe the slightest that the warmth can reach her side. But I know she's by my side, and that's good. I knew by sight. I couldn't make out a single word from her sobbing. She buries her face in her hands. Her coral hair tumbles down to cover them as her bow shakes in unspeakable fear. Suddenly I let out a bitter chuckle. Sadness and sorrow could no longer be suppressed under my throat. My memory is that Monday, the chair lying on the floor, and the weight when she fell to my arms. The rough rope still tight to her neck, like a wolf choking its prey, with the dried blood resting in the air. Morning light gently penetrated her window, but they could never warm her cold body again. So, I'm sorry. Once again I try to reach her, the result is all the same. It's fine. She wipes her tears away, trying to get her best to hold the sobbing back, then looks up at me. It wasn't your fault. I just... Her gravely voice is barely recognizable. I can see her throat struggling under the awful bruise on the neck, as if the rope's still there. Does it hurt? She nods. Don't talk, okay? I'll get some water. I freeze the moment I stand up. Stupid. I can only turn around to face her in awkwardness as I find her clutching the end of my jacket. I reach out to take her hand in mine with disbelief. Out of the blue, her get lifted up by me successfully. Sadly, there are too many details in my reality. Soon I found out that she is just cooperating. However, a small sense of warmth flows out of her fingertips, yet disappears before I can pay more attention to it. What happened? How are you doing? I'm fine. She forces a smile. Why? No, that's not time for that. Are you hungry? Sentences pop out of my mouth without me noticing, and I try to change the subject. I... She looked at the ground helplessly. This is enough. Her expression is like tons of rocks covering my chest, making it impossible for me to breathe. I have to do something. I storm in the kitchen, cluelessly searching for in the fridge. Finally, I manage to find something that can be called food before I put them into the microwave and sit at the table. She follows me into the kitchen. I turn on the light. That's when I notice that she is not standing firmly on the ground, but rather a floating state. You moved? Yeah. I transferred to another school. I couldn't stay around there anymore. I looked at her in guilt. What's this? She points my PS5 in the corner. Ah, that's my gaming console. So you began to play games again. I bet that you're not attending any clubs either. Well, actually, there are a lot of activities going around in college, so... What? You're in college now? Yeah, after all. It's been 4 years. Already 4 years. Look at you. Didn't comb, didn't shave. She was towards me, mildly touching my face. Jesus, you're worse than me sometimes. She giggles, running her hand through my long forgotten hair. However, it feels like nothing but the plain air. I'm speechless. Think of it. When was the last time I looked up in the mirror? It's here. I put the pasta onto the table. Its red sauce seemed especially intriguing under the orange light. I have to say, even this makes me hungry. Her eyes are just about to beam, but it doesn't ease me a bit. I put a fork before her. Wow, this looks really nice. Her familiar gasp rings my ear. Her familiar gasp rings by my ears. Sayori knows. Sayori, I know fully comes back as he reaches the fork and prepares a pasta massacre, when suddenly her fingers pass through the motionless metal. I clench my fist. God damn it! I curse the fucking pasta in my mind. I want to burn the table. I want to crash the useless microwave. You can have it. You didn't eat on time, right? I can tell. I smile. No one knows me better than you. Otherwise, why would you bring yourself an actual fork? I take up my fork. I can hardly move them. Their weight is beyond all measuring, sealing all my senses. I can't move them in an inch, even if I powder rewind day and night. Hurry, it's getting cold. Well, it's still a bit too hot right now since I heated it too long, and I want to slap myself in the face. What kind of bad excuse is that? Anyway, I started eating the food. It's a bit hot to say to say the least, but it's not my problem to worry about. I just mix up the sauce with random intertwined curves and stuff whatever it turns out to be into my mouth. The destiny decreases in my plate, and the last minced meat vanishes behind my teeth. A tear drops to the warmth that lingers above the whiteness. I reach out to take some napkins with my mouth full of pasta. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Sayori sits across the table, holding her chin. She seems better. Your cooking is not so bad after all. She taps her finger on the table as her legs dangle below it. A smile looks so beautiful under the only light that illuminates this empty room. How do you know? I gulp down some water, wiping my face with a napkin. I don't know. It's just that watching you eat makes me feel better. Reminds me of the pasta take like, I guess. And the look on your face tells me everything. She'll kill me if she knew this was just some random microwave food I picked up from some random convenience store. uh, Suddenly she coughs severely as if trying to touch her throat. I'll drink some more. Think I'm crazy, but I guess grasping the straw is all I can do now. So I take down 3 glasses of water in one go. I notice how she's gulping. She's gulping too. Her facial expression seems a lot easier now. I recall everything she has done after we meet. How do I know that this is actually working? Or she's just pretending not to worry me? I like the slowly appearing smile on her face. I believe her. Any better? I smiled in the bittersweet. Just don't touch it, okay? It hasn't healed it yet. It turns out that never will. Let me take a look. I walked over to examine her neck. Ghost sea and mist cannot hide her pain. I know what their colors are supposed to be. The texture of woven rope, has been imprinted into her soft skin in cold blood, turning her innish flesh out. The valley that orbits her neck is not even scrapped yet, and the blood is still seeping out from it, drip by drip. The grain shivers with her heavy breath, and the fiber that hasn't left her neck yet is like millions of sharp blades stabbing into the bottom of my heart without remorse. I'm sorry. It's okay, I said it. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't anyone's fault, she murmurs to herself. I take her hands, watching them. Her fingertips are stained with blood. The nail of the index finger from the right hand have been ripped over. Some fibers that still sticks on the thumb, dry to a growed brown and long with the blood. Other fingers' condition are probably worse, but I failed to remember more as my eyes was up again. Are you tired? No. He shakes her head. Let's take a walk outside. I want to take a look at where you live. That's when I realized that she's still wearing her thin pajamas with her bare feet. That's out of the question, at least. But she just chuckles. What are you thinking? It's not like I can get any colder since I'm a spooky ghost. Alright, just wait a bit. I'll go get a coat. I was to the bedroom, opened the wardrobe to take out my warmest jacket. Then, just as I was about to close it, it stopped. I grabbed a beanie, just in case. Ah! Ha ha ha. That's 2 scores for Sayori. That's 2 scores for Sayori. Really, Sayori? Oh, you have to learn to watch your back. You'll pay for this. Well, how about seeing how will you pay for this mess first? She then began to check my room, hands behind her back. Would you look at it? Gosh, what even is this? You know what you look like? Guess next you're going to put out my name on the list of yours, right? President Sayori? You bet. I followed her out of the room with a beanie in my hands. Then I pushed the doorknob, once again embraced the cold night, with Sayori behind my back. So, have we been here before? Doesn't seem so unfamiliar. Yep, I didn't move that far. Remember that forest we used to hang out? It's not far from here since it's the suburb. Let me think. Ah, is there a lake? Will you bury our time capsule by it? I smile. Yeah, beneath that biggest tree. We walk past a lonely street lamp as my shadow gets stretched into the darkness behind my back. Can others see you? I'm not sure, since I just woke up like hours ago, and I haven't seen anyone else besides you. You just woke up? I looked at her in confusion. Yeah, everything started dim. Even my eyes were opened. I couldn't see or feel anything. When I regained my eyesight, well, you're there, sitting in your bedroom, reading something, but I don't think you noticed me, so that's how you get your first score. Hehe. We continue to walk under the artificial light. What about the festival? What happened after, how's Natsuki and you were doing? From what Monica had told me, the atmosphere was utterly down due to the lack of the presence, and the visitors were also not that enthusiastic about the sharing, so the activities ended in a rush. I guess I'll just tell her the truth. Monica, what's wrong? Um, oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. What happened to our club after the festival? Well, we disbanded because there weren't enough members. But I don't remember anything specific during that time. I just don't remember. Monica touched the fucking game thing shit. You can't remember. I go. Now that I think of it, that period was like a glass covered with steam. Only ambiguous pictures come into my eyes. The rest is nothing but a blur. I only attended a few days of school after you left. So many things to fit, so many people to inform. I didn't receive any actual help since I literally got no friends. Hell, even reading those guidelines and filling endless forms were enough to make me a walking dead. I stopped to catch a breath, your seat, your books, your photo on the class wall. Too many things to face. I couldn't stay there anymore, so I transferred as fast as I could just to get away. Sayori pauses. What about Natsuki and Yuri? Monica? A string of familiar names pierce my body, overpowering all my fights and resists. I can't dodge, I can't hide. I can only let the rain of memories soak me from inside out. I'm sorry. I don't quite, I don't quite remember. I didn't see Natsuki and Riri after the funeral. Funeral? There's no funeral. If I didn't, if I didn't remember, if I did remember right, Yuri died in front of the main character, and funeral isn't happy. Funeral is no funeral. The boss of the world has deleted you, and there's no funeral for it. Naturally, I suppose I didn't even remember their expression that day. Guess sometimes it's better to just leave a person alone. As for Monica, a pair of emerald eyes suddenly emerges in my mind. An empty classroom. What was that? She was, she's, gosh, why so hard to remember? I frown as if some worms slide into my clothes. The discrepancy and the memory questions my brain unstoppably. I think I've had met Monica after that. We talked like a lot, but it feels that I wasn't there, that I wasn't a part of it. And when I try to remember more of it, the memory just abruptly jumps to my new school part. It doesn't match. It doesn't make sense. Of course it doesn't make sense. You're fucking deleted. Monica fucked you up. Let's use the, you know, expression. Hey, are you alright? She reaches out of my hand. It must be a tough time for you, but it's okay to forget. Maybe it is even a bliss to not remember all of it, right? Let's talk about your college. The tone is returning to herself. Sure. Where do you want me to begin with? Start with your new club president. Ah, that's. We walked and talked from my roommates to the new library, from that twisted statue in the campus to the deserting the steel eaves. I mentioned to her that I am keeping a sunflower in my room, and that big fat cat I can't even roll herself over thanks to the student street, and some weird fellow sitting behind the bushes, drawing the flow of life. And of course, my new club president. There's still a literature club in my college, which is a good thing. Although everyone seems to prefer talking about novels and movies, I still keep the habit of writing poetry. Jesus Christ. I tell Sayori about the notebook I was reading earlier. I keep every one of the poems there, along with my mindless sentences and phrases. From moist to dry, from dry to moist, all the way down until the end of the last page, until what's behind the back cover. Dozens? Hundreds? Maybe thousands? I can't quite remember. Just as I can't remember how many hours in 4 years, 1 month plus 1 day, nor how many seconds in 30,784 hours. Time never gave you a break. I was lingering in my comfort zone a minute ago, and I got thrown back away into a packed place where two parallel lines meet a minute after, chasing the glassy butterfly at the end of my reality. Hey, she waves her hand before me. I pull back to reality, the sun is revealing itself behind the sea and sky. We sit on the bench along the street, watching the bustling students crowding towards the school gate. Looks like we somehow wandered to our high school. Is everything okay? You're spacing out again. I'm fine. I want to take a look inside. She leans back against the bench under the bright morning light. Her smiling cheek seems so insignificant. Sunlight penetrates her ghost outline, making it more and more invisible. I can't almost figure out its details inside the mist, like this dew retreating to the blue sky. Her body is disappearing in the noisy light. I cry aloud subconsciously. I feel Gaze's nails onto me. Sayori! Huh? I'm losing you. What are you talking about? I'm here, dummy. The curves of her lips are looming in the thin air. You won't be able to leave me hanging this time. Okay, dude. I don't want to make this joke. I'm sad about that, but okay. Hang, don't hang, okay? I'll stick to you. I'll stick to you wherever you go. Especially you can't hang after you hang, right? Past the hang. A fortunate cold sweat slips down my forehead. I could look for my old uniform if... What about mine? It's okay, I have... That's a bad joke. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But don't you have the corset to attend? It's nothing. None of that matters. Okay. So what's that? You have back? No, we have breakfast. I stand up and walk forward the moment I finish my sentence. Hey, wait me. What with the speed? The surprise? What? She throws me to front of me, walking backwards. Suddenly a stranger passes through her, disturbing her figure into a mess. Jesus Christ, this is fucking fucked. Oh my goodness. Hey! The thought reforms after the stranger leaves. Watch yourself. What is it? You won't be as surprised if I tell you. Please? She runs around me in pure curiosity. Do you feel anything when others run through you? Don't change the subject. Here we are. We walk on the sidewalk for a while before we reach the bakery. A lady is tidying up the mess of the rushing hour. Morning, miss. I would like 4 cinnamon buns. Wow! Sayori jumps all around the counters, eventually ending up staring at those decent pastries. I'm on my way to the checkout as her typical exaggerating voice echoes in the background. I can hear her wolfing down the food anxiously and those rusty wheels of the school gate grinding against the concrete. We're fired off like an arrow leaving its bow, pointing straight into the school building, with our plastic bags flying behind us. Hurry, just eat it. Sayori is radiating her excitement from all over her body. Her happiness passes across the end of her hair to reach my palms, then drips all the way down onto those steaming buns. Steamed buns. A little nervous, I pay the cashier. When the cashier walks away, I ask Sayori in a low voice. She really couldn't hear you. I wonder if Natsuki and Yuri can. Well, theoretically, since they're both both kind of dead, deleted from the game, I think, yeah, they can hear you. Exactly. They can hear you. They can. I'm not so sure about Yuri, but Masuki, she's probably gonna pass her. Nah, that's just not that timid. I wolfed down the four of them in one go. Sayori looks at me, satisfied. How was it? You bet. A laugh. Fancy anything else? Can you handle? It wouldn't hurt to just bring them back. In that case, I want this, and this. This one seems good. Oh, I almost forget the cookies. I've just made myself another bad decision. Okay, that's enough. My fridge is not gonna hold it. Not gonna hold it. Hey, I just don't see you like this very often. She looks at me, or rather, the two big shopping bags in my hands. I can only make up some compromising face, but these pastries are seeming heartily. I guess I'll trade anything with the world as long as she's happy. Whew, I can't hold it. Let's take a bus. I lean against the wall to catch my breath. No, you should take more exercise. That's easy for you to say. Don't forget who I'm buying this for. Alright. It won't be that far since we have already walked this long, right? I take out my phone to check the map. It shows 13.3 kilometers on GPS. We walked that far? Of course, you're a fucking flying ghost. You can't walk. Like you can walk. We walked this far. More like flying, dude. Jesus Christ, it's 13.3 kilometer fucking long distance walking shit. Given this, I refuse to walk a single step. I dragged Sayori to the nearest bus stop. Unbelievably, again, I tried to look at the sign line to line, up and down, but still failed to find any answer. Looks like we have to walk. I left up to the two bags, stepping forward reluctantly. And that's the game. That's the... Oh wait, the first demo. I think there's more demos. I think there's... When I was went back um, of the, the Reddit, I think I saw the second demo. If there's really a second demo, I'll 100% download it and play, and probably do a playthrough. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. Leave a like if you enjoy the video, and subscribe if you like myself. And don't forget to check out the mod creator, mod author, and the mod. It's called Doki Doki Afterimage, and it was near complete. I want you to check out them. I wish you can check out them. They're really interesting in my opinion. So yeah, these are good. One of the best Doki Doki mods, at least. So goodbye guys. This is the end of the video. Goodbye.